Have you ever noticed how when we give our time, our love, our energy, there's almost always this quiet fear underneath that we'll have less afterwards?
We track it constantly, always checking the balance.
I give, I take, and I better not have less than you at the end.
But the teaching is light another lamp from yours and your flame doesn't get smaller. Light 1,000 and the flame remains the same.
Because wholeness can't be subtracted from wholeness.
That is whole. This is whole. Take the whole from the whole and the whole remains.
This is Pūrṇa, the prayer that reminds you that you've never been able to give yourself away. I've practiced yoga consistently for over 10 years now, and I know that the most important part of building consistency is community. Other people to hold you accountable. And second to that is a solid practice plan to help you experience the true benefits of the practice. And this is exactly why I created the OmSom App. It's a free study tool to help you learn the Sanskrit and the philosophy of yoga. Plus, it's the home to our online community, which we call Sadhana Sangha. Every single month, the team and I offer 5 practices, and I guide you through an Asana workshop as well as a subtle technique, and we translate a few lines of the Yoga Sūtra together. It's honestly been my dream to create this app since I started teaching, because this is what I truly needed when I started practicing. So check it out in the show notes or just search OmSom in the App Store. That's OmSom. Now, back to the episode. Namaste. Welcome to the OmSom Yoga and Ayurveda podcast. You are my friend. I am your friend. This is my friend. She is your friend. We're all friends here. My name's Aaron.
My name's Paige.
And we love
Yoga
and
Ayurveda
and all sorts of things that are related to that. And we love to talk about
yoga
and Ayurveda with you every single week.
Yeah, this wouldn't exist without you, our humble listeners that rarely say anything back. Recently, I've been interacting. You can comment on Spotify podcasts.
Well, I know now. And
Go
what I
comment.
realized was that when you started getting attacked with your mming and ahring,
I wasn't
there was
attacked.
a whole bunch of people who came to defend you.
Yeah, there was.
The people love you, Paige, and they want you to make vocalizations.
I think I just probably made too much of a big deal out of
I think
it.
we both made a big deal out of it. And I think it's okay.
I hope that person isn't getting trolled now.
No, I don't think so. I don't think people can even do that on Spotify.
You
It's
never
not
know.
like Instagram or Reddit or something where you can just get cancelled.
Anyway, everything's fine. If you're listening, go and comment on the podcast.
Yeah.
Let us know that you're listening.
And welcome back to Mantra June.
Mantra June. If only it was more catchy. We're actually rounding out Mantra June. This is the
This is
last week of June.
The last week of Mantra June.
Celebrations.
And that means that it's going to be July next week.
Wow, crazy. I wonder what that means.
Well, that means that we start our 200-hour training in Sri Lanka.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Next week.
I wonder if we have a spot left or if we're fully booked.
Ooh. Only time will tell.
Only time will tell. If you're interested, reach out, go onto the website, check it out. There might be a spot left. You
I
could
don't think
fly
there will
to
be.
Sri Lanka tomorrow.
If you
I mean,
could
I don't.
you would have to fly to Sri Lanka
This week. But I mean, I'm
this
flying
week.
to Sri Lanka this week. You're flying to Sri Lanka this week. It's possible.
It's possible.
So
Yeah. Well, last minute. If there's ask us if
ask
there's a
us.
last minute
yeah,
spot.
Yeah. Because you can come for sure. That would be so fun. If there's a spot, come.
We love Sri Lanka,
Yeah.
and we love spending 3 weeks talking about yoga
It's
with people
an absolute nerd out.
in person. Like if you like listening about yoga on the podcast,
Yeah. You will definitely like the 200
you
hour.
definitely like it. in
Even if you've done a
person.
200 hour before, just come.
Yeah, and if you missed out because it is
It is
highly
actually fully
likely that
booked.
it's actually fully booked. We don't know because we're recording this in the past, but it's highly likely that it's going to be fully booked out. And if that's the case, then this might be a good time to announce that about next month in July,
Yes.
in a couple of weeks, we're going to launch Sri Lanka for next year.
Yeah, very true.
2027
Yeah,
in July.
crazy. So yeah, if you missed out and you want to come next year, just send us a message. So you can be the first to know, because sometimes it does book out quite early. But just let us know if you're the first to know. And like the last little bit of this little impromptu ad here is if you are already 200 hour trained, you can come do our 300 hour. That starts in September.
Oh yeah, that's getting
One
close, too.
weekend a month online, so you can do it from anywhere in the world. One weekend a month, we go through the 7 chakras. And then in April, we spend 2 weeks together in Rishikesh, India. It's literally a dream.
It is so nice.
It's the best. It's one of our favorite trainings.
And I mean, we get a whole year to talk about
Yeah.
yoga together. And also, like, we go so much deeper than we do
Yeah.
on the podcast. We practice all of these things.
Yeah.
We feel them, and we really penetrate into the core of yogic practice. So everything that we talk about on the podcast becomes a lived experience on the 300 hour.
So there's so many opportunities. 200 hour this year, 300 hour this year, 200 hour next year, whatever it is. Like that would mean the absolute world to us. Like we all say all the time, we don't get paid for this podcast. Do we even have ads on the podcast? I don't think.
We actually just got approved, but I just haven't turned them
Yeah.
on.
So right now you're probably
could be running
lucky.
ads.
Yeah,
We could be making money.
be making money off it, but we just haven't been bothered to do it yet, and because they're so cringe sometimes, and
Yeah,
you don't
well,
get to choose the ads.
You don't get to choose. Like we could be having ads about like gambling or
Yeah.
something. That I just that doesn't sit well with me.
No, for sure.
That gambling companies.
Anyway, so we don't make any money from this podcast. We just spend our own time doing this. So if you would love to join us for a training, we would be so grateful. What an epic payout that would be for us. You know, like we just chat and then you come do a training. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
It'd be an epic payout for you as well.
Yeah.
Be a nice dealio. All right, let's get into it.
Shall we?
Yeah.
I reckon. Okay, so what are the mantras we have covered so far? Om,
Gayatri.
Asatoma, Gayatri, and
Mahamrityunjaya.
Mahamrityunjaya.
Yeah.
Today,
Yes.
my friend,
Yes.
we are exploring maybe the most confusing
Okay.
of all of the mantras.
That's a big call.
It's called the Pūrṇa mantra.
Mm.
And it comes from this teaching, and I don't really have a basis for this teaching or this story, but I'm going to tell you the story in the way I want to tell it.
Great.
Sometimes the stories just, they came from someone I don't remember.
Okay.
Don't have a source in my head,
Yeah.
but I've heard this story many times. Teacher speaking with the student, if I give my love away, will I have less?
Mm.
Will I have less love for myself if I give that away? That's the question. The teacher says, well, if you take a lamp, meaning like a candle, and you light another lamp from it, does the flame get any smaller? The student obviously says, no, the flame stays exactly the same. Teacher says, if you light 100 lamps from it, 1,000 lamps, 1,000,000 lamps, and then look at the original lamp, is the flame any smaller? And the student says, no, the flame is still the same. And so the teacher then gives this teaching on Pūrṇa, which is fullness that cannot be subtracted from. Whatever you give from that source, then the source will still remain. Whatever arises from the whole leaves the whole undiminished.
Mm.
And then the student says, but surely as a person I can lose something when I give. I might lose my time or my energy or my care or my self, ahamkara. The teacher says this, you will lose from what is countable, what is manifested. You will lose from the person. You will lose from the unnameable things, the things of the world. But that is only because the person is countable. Your thoughts are countable. The source is not. And then he gives this mantra, the Pūrṇa mantra, as a reminder of that wholeness.
Cool.
And so he says, if you chant this mantra, you're not pretending to be whole. You're not pretending like you have everything, but you're remembering that you've never been anything else.
It's true.
Hmm.
This is a nice teaching.
It's a lovely teaching. Do you know how long it took me to remember this mantra? It was one of those ones that I was just like, oh, adaya, anamada. Just the same word over and over. So let's break it down.
Yep, sounds good.
What is the mantra? Om Pūrṇamadaha Pūrṇam idam Pūrṇat Pūrṇamudachyate Pūrṇasya Pūrṇamadaya Pūrṇameva Vashishyate. Om Shantihi Shantihi Shantihi. What does that mean?
It's a good question.
What is Pūrṇa? When I think about the calendar cycle, the monthly cycle, what is the Pūrṇa?
No idea.
It's the full moon, right? Like the Guru Pūrṇama.
Yes.
It's the full moon where we celebrate the teachers,
Okay.
right? So when the moon is full, it is called Pūrṇa, right? So this word Pūrṇa means fullness, it means wholeness, it means complete,
Okay.
right? And so if we're saying Pūrṇamadaha Pūrṇamidam, we're saying that is whole, purnamadaha. This is whole, purnam idam. From the whole, purnat, purnamudachate, the whole arises. And purnameva vashishyate. If you take the whole from the whole, then only the whole remains.
A lot of whole talking here.
Yeah. It's a non-dual teaching. It has nothing to do with the world, but it has everything to do with the world. It's this remembrance of non-duality.
Which means?
It's a Vedantic teaching. It means that there is something beyond everything that we study, right? Because what we study is often called Veda, knowledge, or Jnana, knowledge. And the only way that we can study is by quantifying things, like put a label on it. But as soon as you put a label on something, it becomes a thing. And then that thing is separated from the whole.
Yeah.
Right? And so then there is this teaching which is called Vedānta. And Vedānta means beyond knowledge, or the end. Anta is the end. The end of knowledge. And that is what is unknowable. And what is unknowable is everything is one.
Right, so this is where that everything is one teaching comes from.
Yes, this is exactly where that everything is one teaching comes from. And I think it's very confusing to a lot of people because they're kind of like, everything is one, everything is one. And it's kind of like, well, that's not really a yogic teaching. Because yoga implies Sāṃkhya.
Sāṃkhya philosophy.
Sāṃkhya philosophy has one rule. And that is not negotiable duality.
Yeah, Purusha and Prakriti.
Yeah, there is the world and there is the one who is observing the world. So, Vedanta goes on to say that the universe is one.
Yeah, I love this. And it's so interesting because if you haven't heard of this before, it's kind of like you just hold the tension between these two vastly different philosophies. And that's kind of like what yoga is all about. Yeah. It's like one side of yoga is like, yeah, there is Purusha and there is Prakriti. There is duality, there is the creation and the one that observe creation. And there's this Vedantic view that says everything is all one. You and I, we're the same. And they're such vastly different ideas, but yoga holds them both and believes. Like that's faith, is like when you can believe in two vastly different ideas at the same time. And I think that that's what a lot of religion is lacking, that I believe so heavily in this, but I cannot fathom that somebody else believes in something different to me. Yeah. And like, isn't that such a beautiful teaching that yoga asks us to hold both at all times?
Yeah. Always. No, maybe not at all times. Maybe. When it's useful. Yeah. We can teeter between the two when it's useful for us.
Yeah, for sure.
That there is a yoga of being in the world. Yeah. And understanding the worldly things, which is the Sāṃkhya yoga, right? Look at the quality of the thing, use that quality, like attracts like, opposite brings balance. Let's use that to create a sense of wholeness. Yeah. Right? Sama is that Sāṃkhya. Sama means everything. Totality. It's that same kind of word as Pūrṇa. Yeah. Pūrṇa means the fullness, and Sama means bring everything together into one. Yeah. But in order to do that, we have to see that there are both. Yeah. Right. That there is the perception of wholeness and Vedānta and that everything is one, but also there is this world where things are separated.
Yeah, it's true.
Right? So this mantra is just reminding us, a way of reminding ourselves that even though there sometimes feels like there is a lacking, there sometimes feels like there is more giving than there is receiving, that if we can transcend that duality, if we can transcend that I have this much, you have this much, I'm going to take from me to give to you, then we remember that we are already whole, right? That if there's this internal joy, that giving that joy to someone else doesn't require you to feel less of it. Just like the lamp lighting the lamp. Yeah. Right? And just like the lamp lighting the lamp, when we teach yoga, we are giving that gift of awareness. Yeah. to others.
Yeah.
Right? We can use our practice to come internally and have this experience. And by having that experience internally, the experience of fullness, then we can share that fullness as an experience with others.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean that we are no longer experiencing that.
Yeah, true.
Mm.
It becomes like a good mantra, a good teaching for non-attachment as well. Hey.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, word by word.
Yeah.
Pūrṇam is this idea of pūrṇa, fullness.
Mm.
Adaha means that. So pūrṇamadaha means that is full, that is complete, that is whole.
And it's adaha that's referring to the unmanifest, so
Yeah.
all of creation.
All of creation. And then pūrṇam idam means this. This is whole, meaning the manifested world.
Yeah, okay.
The whole universe.
Yeah. So it's consciousness and that extremity of source, and then the manifest world.
Yeah, but even more that there's this unmanifested wholeness.
Yeah.
Right before the world, before the physicality, there's this place which is not manifest in any way.
Yeah. And that is whole too.
And that is whole too. Okay. So then we have this line which is pūrṇat, pūrṇam mudachyate. Udachyate means that arises, right? So from the pūrṇat, from pūrṇa,
Yeah.
is pūrṇat. Pūrṇam mudachyate, udachyate means arises. So from the wholeness arises the wholeness.
Yeah.
And then pūrṇameva vashishyate. Avashishyate means it means that which remains. So
Yeah.
pūrṇam adaya means having taken.
Yeah.
Adaya means I take away the pūrṇa.
Yeah.
From the pūrṇa.
Yeah.
And what remains is
Pūrṇa.
pūrṇa.
Beautiful.
Oh. And I think it's like this thing that just folds away any distinctions that we want to create for ourselves.
Yeah.
Right? That in the pūrṇa there is no me and you. In the pūrṇa there is nothing for me to give, but everything.
Yeah.
And if I give everything, then everything will still be there.
Yeah. Beautiful.
If I give you an hour of my time, there will still be endless time.
It's true.
If I give you a little bit of my attention, there will still be endless attention.
Yeah.
And if I give you a little bit of my love, there will still be endless love.
It's true.
It's true. Anything you want to add to that?
It's just like a good reminder for this modern world where we are so caught up on, like what's ours, and forgetting that love and energy and time, like it's not ours. It's not ours at all. It flows through us. Yeah. Like we're a part of it. It's not ours to possess.
Oh. You want to get really heady for a second?
Sure.
I was thinking about this the other day. I was thinking about, two-dimensional reality and three-dimensional reality. And what reality do we live in? We live in the three-dimensional reality.
Yeah.
Okay. So in a two-dimensional reality,
Yes.
you couldn't possibly perceive a three-dimensional reality.
Okay.
And what you would see is, so two-dimensional would be like the flat screen.
Yeah.
You would only see that one view of this whole circular
It's
being.
like the earth is flat.
Yeah. Two-dimensional. Okay, so the two-dimensional perception couldn't see the three-dimensional perception. Now, how do we then imagine what a fourth dimension could look like from our third dimension?
Interesting.
And that is the idea of all time existing as one time.
Right.
And so that's to say that the you 5 minutes ago, the you 10 years ago, the you 30 years ago, and the you 60 years from now all exist simultaneously.
Yeah. Yep.
And from our little tiny three-dimensional mind, which is trained to only see the world through this linear time pattern and the five senses, it's impossible to imagine.
Yeah, very true.
But it doesn't mean it can't exist.
No, absolutely not.
Right? Because if you really think about it, like the you 10 years ago was still the you that you are now.
Yeah, for
But,
sure.
you were still perceiving from the same place. The mind was different. The body was different. Like all of these things were different, but you were still the same.
That's very true. Interesting.
And so it just starts to elevate to the you that was always there. The you that will always be there. The you that is already whole.
Yeah, and maybe we only understand that when we meet death and we do transcend the three-dimensional world.
Or maybe we understand that when we meet yoga.
Maybe.
In the depths of our practice.
True.
Because the minds become quiet.
And because we can always use our yoga practice to transcend between limitations that have held us back in the past and potentially hold us in the future too. That although we are the same person as we were 10 years ago, we can use our yoga practice to transcend the vikalpas or the limiting beliefs or the traumas or the tensions that held us within that period of time and space 10 years ago. And we can transcend it. So yeah, maybe you're right. Maybe we can find that through yoga.
That's the whole point.
Mm.
That's the whole point. To come back to our wholeness.
Yeah.
To come back to our original unmanifested form as awareness. Okay. What about maths? You love maths.
I do.
Maybe not as much as me at the moment.
I feel like maybe I'm more words. I was saying that to Millie the other day when I was telling her that I was writing poetry, and she was like, "Okay, maths girl." And I was like, "Yeah, true."
I've gone from words to maths.
Yeah,
and you've gone from maths to words.
Very interesting.
Look at us doing backflips.
I know, right?
But mathematically, infinity minus infinity equals infinity.
Yep.
Infinity plus infinity equals infinity.
It's always infinity.
It's very mathematically precise, so it makes sense if the universe is maths. But in the world of words, all we can say is whole subtracted from whole, only whole remains.
Yeah, and the words is limited there.
But the maths is not negotiable. Right? We can talk about this and we can ponder on these words of pūrṇamadaha, pūrṇamidam, pūrṇa mudachyate. But like, if you look at it as a number, it's so obvious.
Yeah. True. Very true.
Mm-hmm.
Hi, Nini. Can you sit here?
Pano.
Sit down.
Luna, you haven't been on the podcast in a while. Say hello. Say hi. Yeah, there they are.
She's got a new camo jacket on. Come here, Luna.
Luna is our guru. Okay, anyway. So this comes from the Upanishads. It's an Upanishadic teaching. What I want to say is just like how this relates to relationships and how this relationship dynamic kind of plays out in all sorts of places where it's like, whether it's your family, whether it's your friends, whether it's your partner, whether it's your students, whether it's anyone that you interact with, there's kind of this transactional experience that so many of us fall into. And I think it was something that I really noticed when I started OmSom. Like if you go onto our website and you look at like the things that we stand for, one of them is relational instead of transactional.
Yeah.
And that's to say that instead of just I give, you take, or you give, I take, and that kind of in our sense is kind of like you come in for a class, we give you the class, and then you leave again.
You pay us money for it.
There's this relational element which says you come into the class and you're welcomed and you're seen. And that also is something that we receive from. Yeah. Right? That it's like, yes, I can come to teach, you can come to practice, I can offer this class to you, but at the same time, there's something that I receive from that class. And there's this opportunity to stay and to be and to ponder in that space together for a little while. Yeah, for sure. Right? That like philosophically, we want to explore that together and we want to explore that with you. Yeah. Our listeners and the people who come into the studio.
Yeah, we don't want this to be a one-way situation.
Exactly. And that relational element allows us to start to grapple with these things that are very, very hard to understand through the mind.
Yeah.
And in this transactional world where it's kind of like, and I know that in this modern world, like so many of us are feeling this pinch with like the cost of living rising and everything's getting more expensive and we only have this certain amount of money. And so then we take that idea of like, what's mine is mine.
Yeah.
And we translate it into time and awareness and attention and energy, which are all inexhaustible resources.
Yeah.
You know? It's like you and I stepped into a room together and I said, well, this is my air for me to breathe.
Yeah.
And you can only have 5 breaths.
Yeah.
And then you have to leave again.
It's crazy. And I think that, yeah, like it's easy for us to laugh about that with these kind of concepts where you can't really count, you know, the air or energy or all of this stuff. But it's when it starts to trickle out into the things that can be countable that the teachings really appear. And, you know, one of the biggest things this shows up for in the modern world is money, right? And this lack mindset where I don't have enough. I need to, you know, store away like a beaver with nuts or whatever beavers store away wood sticks. They make a dam.
They make a dam so they can store the water.
Exactly. And yeah, so, and you know, that obviously comes from a lack mindset that's like the war and all this trauma and everything like that. But you know, being able to shift your perspective on that, and you really taught me that, is like we've got to spend money to make money, and this kind of like outward flow of money to, especially to those in need. I think that's something that we really stand for at OmSom, and we have this little, you know, thing where if somebody asks us for money or somebody asks us for a discount or somebody asks us for anything in that way, we'll always say yes, and don't take advantage of that now that you know that. But yeah, like, you know, what a brave thing it is to be in need and to ask for what you need, whether that's a scholarship spot, a discount, or whether that's, you know, the people that are on the streets, you know, asking for money. It's just like whenever we're presented with an opportunity like that, it's a sign from God. It's a sign from God to, you know, allow us to trust in faith and have that process, trust in Shri, and also to be able to give what we have and know that it will come back, even if it's the last dollars in your wallet, being able to give that.
Yeah.
It's powerful.
Yeah. And it really is something historically that's been endlessly applied in the yoga tradition.
Yeah.
That like the aesthetics, the yogis, you know, like not us as yogis because we're not yogis, but the yogis traditionally did not have material things.
Yeah. All they could give was the knowledge.
All they could give with the knowledge. But there was a cultural understanding that for someone to sit and access the infinite, then there should be this reciprocity, right? And that reciprocity comes in a different form, right? But there was this level of respect that was like, even sitting in that yogi's presence gives a teaching.
Absolutely.
And gives something that the world can't give.
Yeah.
Right? That a taste of the infinite.
Yeah.
And therefore, the needs of that person, the body, that have chosen to immerse in the infinite should be met by everyone.
Meaning that you feed the yogi, you bathe the yogi, you look after the yogi. And it's this interesting thing because the yogi renounces everything to unite with God, to unite with oneness. And then everybody else who has faith in that and can give because they are already whole and they know that gives in that moment.
Yeah. And in many like homes in India, there's this practice called guest as God.
Yeah.
Anyone who comes as a guest should be treated like God has entered your home.
Yeah.
And they should be given everything that they need.
Yeah.
Which I think is a beautiful practice.
It is a beautiful practice. All right, let's get into the textual sources.
Okay. Om Pūrṇamadaha Pūrṇamidam Pūrṇat Pūrṇamudachyate Pūrṇasya Pūrṇamadaya Pūrṇameva Vashishyate is written. in that same Upanishad.
Yeah, I don't know about that. You double check that for me.
It's very, very long. I did double check it before we did this. You want to try the pronunciation today?
Bradaranyaka.
Bradaranyaka. Bradaranyaka.
Bradaranyaka.
Long A.
Yeah.
The second A.
Yeah, I know
middle
it's
A
hard
is-
when it's the second A.
Yeah, because it's kind of opposite to English.
Bradaranyaka.
Bradaranyaka.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, anyway, that is the textual home. It's a very long Upanishad, but it holds those two mantras, Asatoma and
Pūrṇa.
Pūrṇa. Okay, this also comes from other Upanishads. There is an association with the Isha Upanishad and some other different Upanishads. But ultimately, what a lot of people say is that this is something that speaks to the non-dual part of one of the Vedas called the Atharva Veda.
Okay.
Now, there was one other thing that I pulled that I think could be relevant to this, and it's not a specific sense like this mantra appearing in a text, but it's this idea appearing in the Bhagavad Gītā. And Krishna says this, and this actually took me a long time to get my head around. So listen to this, Paige, and then you tell me, before me telling you anything about it, what you think it means. By me, in my unmanifest form, all this universe is pervaded. All beings rest in me, but I do not rest in them. I'll say it one more time for you. By me, in my unmanifest form, all this universe is pervaded. This is Krishna talking.
Yeah.
All beings rest in me, but I do not rest in them.
I don't know if I even have words to try and describe what that means. It means that everything rests in God or in the infinite, but the infinite rests in the infinite.
Only in the infinite.
Yeah.
That Krishna in this story is a man, a human being, but has God realization.
Yeah.
And in that God realization, in his unmanifest form, which is awareness, wholeness, fullness, Pūrṇa, he pervades the whole universe, right? And then he says, all beings rest in me. That's to say, all forms rest in me, the wholeness, but I do not rest in them.
Because I rest in the fullness.
Because I am the wholeness. And those human forms, those physical forms, are not complete. They're not the complete picture. They're your individual viewpoint. It's a way of asking Arjuna to come out of the mind, to come out of the stories, to come out of the role that he's currently playing and into something greater, and to rest in that higher awareness.
Interesting. Love the Bhagavad Gītā. It made it onto my coffee table, but I haven't picked it up yet. I got it off the bookshelf onto the coffee table.
All right. I'm looking forward to it.
Yep.
I've read it maybe 3 times, and every time I've gotten to the end and I'm like, nah.
Yeah, it's not your text. I want it to be mine. Let's see.
But I keep trying.
Yeah.
I keep trying, and I really try to keep going back and finding.
Maybe you need a new
little
translation.
pieces.
Maybe when I finish this translation, you can read it.
I've done 3. I've done
really?
3 translations. Yeah. But I'm open to another one.
All right, let's keep going.
All right, tell us about what Ayurveda says about pūrṇatva.
I think what's interesting and what comes up for us when we speak about Ayurveda in this way is perhaps the idea of the 3 subtle essences, and Pūrṇa, this idea of the full moon. It very much relates to Ojas, which we've spoken about so much on the podcast. But there's vital immunity and nectar and nourishment and life force that flows through us, that keeps us juicy and alive and vibrant. Yeah. But the thing with the 3 subtle essences, which Ojas is a part of, so we've got Ojas Prana, which you've probably heard of, and Tejas. Tejas is our awareness of intellect and discernment at the highest level. So these 3 are the most pure forms of the doshas, if that makes sense, Vata, Pitta, Kapha. And what we say about these 3 subtle essences is that they all have to increase at the same time.
Okay.
Meaning that if we're working to increase ojas, tejas, or prana, we need to focus on increasing all of them at the same time. Otherwise, it can lead to imbalance and it can lead to burnout.
Mm-hmm.
For example, when somebody increases their tejas too much, whether that's through study, whether that's through spiritual awakening, whether that's through psychedelics, which is quite a common experience, if the tejas increases too high without the ojas coming up and the prana coming up to act as the container and the mover of that tejas, then it burns us out, it burns us dry. So there has to be this fullness, this vibrancy of all three of the subtle doshas to allow our being to be full of prana, full of tejas, full of ojas in a balanced and vital way.
And that's described in Ayurveda as the natural state.
Yeah. It is the natural state. You know, when we look at that, it's the equal balance of prana, tejas, and ojas, and then the unique balance of the dosha within your body. And that's so interesting, right? Because in the dosha way, it's like, well, it doesn't have to be 33% pitta, 33% vata, 33% kapha, because it's your unique ratio. But when we're looking at the subtle doshas, the subtle essences, they need to be in equal balance with each other. Ojas, prana, and tejas, to allow there to be fullness.
Love it. Okay then. And so if those things are out of balance, what do we need?
I mean, that's a bigger conversation. I think we did an episode on prana, tejas, and ojas, so you can go back and listen to that.
But what's the medicine that we're giving here?
Well, the medicine right now is the mantra. So let's talk about the mantra.
Okay.
You know, we spoke, I think maybe at the start of this month, about how you could use the mantra in different ways for the different doshas, what would pacify pitta, vata, kapha. But the idea, again, with this Pūrṇa mantra is perhaps it's not really one that we meditate on. Perhaps it's one that we contemplate for sure. But again, it can be used as an invocation or a way to create bhavana, whether that's for our practice or whether that's just for our life. That it can allow us to invoke that feeling of fullness, of vitality, of ojas, that juiciness, this word of snigdha, which is oil, but it also means love. You know, Pūrṇa can allow us to feel that bhavana and become that bhavana just by chanting, reciting, listening to this mantra, contemplating the meaning of this mantra, because it's a big one to contemplate.
Yeah. So it's a medicine for the mind.
It's a medicine for the mind, and that filters into everything, right? All root cause of disease in Ayurveda is the mind.
Yeah.
So if we treat the mind with mantra, with medicine for the mind, then we treat all symptoms of disease and imbalance.
So like hypothetically, this is a disease of the mind. The lack of tejas, ojas, prana is not real.
Perhaps.
Because they're inexhaustible sources.
Yeah.
They're subtle sources. They're subtle forces. And therefore they can't be exhausted. And so we remember that they are there and inexhaustible and can be taken from the subtlety, the bhavana, the feeling of wholeness in the mind and in the heart. Then those things will be replenished naturally.
Absolutely.
From the inside out.
And that's how we increase them.
Yeah. That's so interesting. I really like that. Ayurveda for the mind.
Absolutely.
Beautiful, beautiful. So then, should we do one recitation of this? How do you go with it?
I don't know this mantra.
You didn't know it?
No.
Okay, how about I recite it for you and you receive it the traditional way. Om Purnamadaha Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamiva Vashishyate Om Shantihi Shantihi Shantihi.
Beautiful.
Everything is perfect.
Everything is whole.
So, give as much as you can.
Always.
Give as much attention, give as much time, give as much energy to yourself as you give to everyone else. And know that all of those things cannot be taken away from. They are endless.
Infinite.
Okay.
Thank you so much for listening.
Have the most beautiful day ever. Please share this with someone. We have now officially finished our mantra June, and we're going to get back to some regular topics
Some new
next
topics
month.
next month. Let's see what it is.
Let's see. I know what it is.
I don't remember, but
I do, because I started recording
Yeah, I
Sangha
haven't
for
recorded
July, and it's going to be an interesting month. It's quite a bit of a change. We're going to go from this very
I remember.
subtle. I don't know really what you guys are talking about at the moment. You're talking about everything, but we're going to start to talk about the things and why the things cause us to feel like we don't have enough. All right. See you then.
Hari Om.